This is the JTV Caribbean News. I am Sean Rose. A report commissioned by the Inter-American Development Bank, the IDB, has found that Latin America and the Caribbean's renewable energy endowment is large enough to cover its projected 2050 electricity needs many times over. The report, Rethinking Our Energy Future, argues that lower prices and new technologies are making renewables a viable alternative. It also says that solar, geothermal, wave, wind, and biomass sources in the region could produce up to 80 petawatt-hour of electricity. The report noted that several of these alternative technologies have become price competitive with conventional technologies, offer good investment opportunities, and should be taken into consideration by policymakers, aiming to diversify their national energy matrices, reduce fuel supply vulnerabilities, and cut greenhouse gas emissions. The statement said the region must modernize its policy and regulatory frameworks and scale up investments in order to tap into its vast potential. The study also says regardless of how each country may shape its energy policy, increasing the penetration and use of non-traditional renewables makes sense for Latin America and the Caribbean. Helen Kilpatrick has been appointed as the first female governor of the Cayman Islands. She will succeed Duncan Taylor, who will be transferring to another diplomatic service appointment. Kilpatrick will take up her appointment during September 2013. Kilpatrick joined the Home Office in April 2005 as the Director General for Finance and Corporate Services. She also has extensive experience working in UK government. Kilpatrick will transfer from the Home Office to the FCO for this appointment. On her appointment as Governor of the Cayman Islands, Kilpatrick said she is honored and delighted to be appointed Governor of the Cayman Islands and looks forward to working in a constructive partnership with the newly elected government to ensure a safe, successful, and sustainable future for the Cayman Islands. A group of British MPs and peers have claimed in a report that new migration rules for people from outside the European Union are tearing British families apart. According to the report, thousands of Britons have been unable to take up a non-European Union spouse, partner, and children to live in the United Kingdom since minimum earning requirements were introduced last July. The rules require any British citizen who wants to sponsor his or her non-European Union spouse's visa to be able to prove that they earn at least £18,600 a year. The amount rises to £22,400 to sponsor a child and an additional £2,400 for each additional child. Evidence suggested that 47% of the British working population last year would have failed to meet the income level for sponsorship. The committee noted that almost 18,000 British people would be prevented from being reunited with their spouse or partner in the UK annually as a result of the new rules. Baroness Hamwi, chairwoman of the inquiry, said the committee was struck by the evidence showing just how many British people have been kept apart from partners, children, and elderly relatives. These new rules are designed to ease the burden of migration on British taxpayers, according to the Home Office. The all-party parliamentary group on migration is calling for an independent review of the minimum income requirement. Jamaica has given the new board of the Trinidad-based Caribbean Airlines a month to indicate how it intends to use the Air Jamaica brand in the future. Air Jamaica brand is under the control of Caribbean Airlines, CAL. Jamaica and the Trinidad officials and CAL board members discussed the airline's Jamaican operations and CAL's arrears to Jamaican entities, including the Customs and the Airports Authority. The meeting also discussed the status of the Air Jamaica brand amid reports that the Portia Simpson Miller administration had threatened to withdraw the Air Jamaica brand from CAL in the wake of a recent decision to cut back on the number of flights to Jamaica. The new Caribbean Airlines board, which came into office last month, had been given a month to decide on the way forward. In 2010, Jamaica and Trinidad agreed to a deal that allowed the Jamaica government to own 16% of CAL as part of the conditions for CAL taking over the lucrative routes of Air Jamaica. The deal also allows for Trinidad agreeing to a $300 million US transition plan for CAL to acquire and operate 6 Air Jamaica aircraft and 8 of its routes. Last year, CAL recorded losses estimated at $70 million US. The airline receives $40 million in fuel subsidy. Construction has begun on the new terminal at Providenciales International Airport in the Turks and Caicos Islands, the territory's airports authority announced Wednesday, June 19. The work follows the launch of construction of the airport's new traffic circulation system and a new parking lot. The aim is to finish the new terminal facility by the end of 2014, according to Lavon Reynolds, terminal and marketing manager at the Turks and Caicos Islands Airports Authority. Turks and Caicos announced the airport redevelopment project last summer. The expansion will nearly double the size of the existing terminal to about 92,321 square feet. Around 500,000 passengers pass through the airport each year. For the JTV Caribbean News, I am Sean Rose.
And coming up next on JTV News. The number of turtles nesting on BVI beaches has declined, and officials appeal to the public not to disturb turtles while nesting. Students at the Enid Scatliff Pre-Primary make healthy choices with fruit and water at snack time. And dazzling dance performances at this year's Dance Fest.